You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense.
Hello and welcome to Radio Nonsense, the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast that's suitable for all ages from 2 and everything in between. I'm Tiernan, and this week, listeners, it's a very special episode. Yes, that is right. In fact, can I get a fanfare? Linda, have you got the fanfare prepared, Linda? Linda? Okay, fine. I'll do the fanfare myself then. Yes, that's right, listeners, and I know you knew already. And you knew I know that you knew already, and you know that even though you knew I know, we all had to keep it a surprise until we got here. But we are here, and in fact, I think I've ruined the fanfare by talking a bit too much after it, haven't I? I'll do it again. So this week's Radio Nonsense listeners, I'm proud to say it's the 252nd episode! Woo! Yeah, can you believe it? Well, if you can't, I mean, you should, because it's real and it's not made up or anything. I mean, if I'd said this is the Fablanteenth 12th Episode, can you believe it? You could have said, no, I don't, because it isn't, and that isn't a number. But 252nd episode. Linda, remember when we started this show all the way back at episode -7, and then it took 7 goes before I realised I didn't know how to press record, and then we actually started at episode 1? Linda, how has she not turned up to a single one of our 252 episodes? Ugh. Well, listeners, you might be thinking, shouldn't we have celebrated the 250th episode like other podcasts do? Well, boo to them, because 252 is actually an even better number than 250. I mean, for a start, it's 2 more than that. I mean, imagine if you had 250 cookies. Wow, well done you and your 250 cookies. You're so clever. But I've got 252 cookies. Who's the winner now? It's me. Even if really I'd probably be very sick after I'd eaten about 4 cookies. Maybe 252 is too many. Okay, maybe after eating 5 cookies, 6 cookies, possibly. You know what the 250th day of the year is? It's September the 7th, which, you know, that's fine, isn't it? It's a fine day. Happy birthday if that's your birthday on that day. It's also National Threatened Species Day in Australia. I guess that's important. It's Air Force Day in Pakistan. Does that mean farts when there's Air Force? Anyway, and it's National Acorn Squash Day in America. But I mean, what is that? Is it an acorn? Is it a squash? Make your mind up, mate. Whereas the 252nd day of the year is September the 9th, which is National Ants on a Log Day in America. So don't get it any better than ants on a log, do you? Unless they're on a bog or a hog. So yeah, look, that's way better. I'm just saying 252 is so much better than 250. The 252 bus in London, that is way better than the 250, but I haven't looked up the 250 bus, but the 252's all right. Anyway, look, I bet because it's our 252nd episode that I've been sent some amazing celebratory messages in the mailbag. This is from Aguilas in the US, and thanks so much for Aguilas for celebrating our 252nd episode with a very special message. They said, "Rah! Hi, heads rah! That hippo is gone with the 12-year-old Linda. Rah! Excuse me, Aguilas? What has happened? What's happened there? Are you a lion? If Linda is only 12, then she's probably not been to work yet, because she's not allowed to work yet until she's a grown-up. And why is she hanging around with a hippo? They're one of the world's most dangerous animals, after, you know, meerkats and bananas. I think that's the list. And hang on, where's the congratulations on the 252 episode message, Aguilas? There must be one of those in the mailbag. I'll shake it again and see. Just a moth? Are you even going to say congratulations, moth? No, it's gone. Well, look, listeners, if you want to send in a belated congratulations message, I guess I'll just sit here and wait for them. Or if you want to send in anything else at all, I suppose, including any questions you need to have answered, then please get your nearest dumpy noodlehead, grown-up, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. You can also give the show a nice review at Apple Podcasts or Castbox, or send in a reply to any of the episodes on the Spotify Q&A. And do also take a little look at comedyclubforkids.co.uk to see where all of our live shows are happening near where you are. Ho-hum, well, I'm sure I'll get some nice congrats messages any second now, listeners. Any second now. Well, while I wait for anyone, to recognise our special 250-second episode, you listen to this, the 250-second most importantest bit. I am very excited, listeners, as right here on Radio Nonsense today, it's Louie Stowell, officially the world's fastest sitter. Louie, I am so excited to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah. I was really glad you mentioned my skill, actually, because I recently beat my own record.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So, I thought that there was no faster that I could sit, but
yes.
I managed to. What I did was I raised my seat further,
right,
and so that sort of I was higher, and then I suddenly dropped it. You've got those little levers on the side of your chair.
Yes.
And I followed down.
Wow.
Using
gravity
my kind of gravity assist. And I think I've got to thank my trainer for that, because they were the one that suggested the chair approach. But honestly, I've got to thank Sir Isaac Newton, because he discovered gravity. So I think without him, my sport would be it would be much the poorer, really. I feel
I've got to ask, Louie, and forgive me because I am not an expert like yourself. I know of your world-renowned sitting efforts, but is that sort of chair with the lever, is that allowed in official competitions?
Yeah, actually, they recently had a massive discussion about this at the board of sitting, and it didn't used to be allowed, but they've realised it does create a level playing field, because everyone in the competition, they have access to those chairs. So as long as it's inclusive, as long as everyone can get access to one of those chairs, in regional competitions, it's not allowed. So
I see. So it's only on the international scale, right?
Exactly, yeah. Because if you're competing in like a church hall or something, you've only got those little wooden chairs, or maybe plastic chairs, but they don't move. So you've got to make it fair for all the competitors. Meet them where they are.
Yes, that's true. That is interesting. It does amaze me though that you talk about like church halls. Like I've seen people sit down a lot in churches. They often have to stand up, then they have to sit down again, then they have to stand up, then they have to sit down. So they get a lot of practice in, and clearly those chairs are really good for repeated sittings.
Yeah, and how sometimes professional sports people like myself they'll train in one sport to kind of help them with their existing sport.
Yes.
So if you're in the church space, you can practice kneeling. Now, kneeling is a completely different discipline.
Right.
But I would say it builds up your stamina and the right muscles so that you'll actually be a much better sitter, even if you're spending a lot of time kneeling. I know it doesn't make sense, it blows your mind a bit, but actually, I found that really helpful.
That's really helpful. Do you know, and I wonder, now that you've said this, because there are those people who say that it's like a super healthy thing where they kind of sit without actually sitting on anything. Is that helpful? Because if you did that, you wouldn't actually be on the chair, you'd be hovering above it.
Yeah, but again, it's one of those things that sort of goes against logic, but actually sometimes you've got to think outside the box, because the box is quite small and made of cardboard, and you need to be outside it, Yeah, because cardboard is no good for sitting on. No,
also it's quite dark in there.
I wouldn't want to be trapped in a box for long.
No, and I know people say, like cardboard you can break through it when it's wet, but if you're inside it, like you have to sort of really spit it a lot or lick it. It's not very nice. And it's not a nice experience.
What if you're inside a cardboard box in the desert? What then? Like you're going to have to maybe shout for someone to help, and they can bring over a cactus because they got water in them. But you're out of luck, really.
Yeah, I really agree, and it's one of those things where I often think we're quite lucky. I don't know if you've travelled recently, but I have, and I was really pleased that I got to go on transport rather than be delivered in a box.
Yeah. Because I mean, especially like it's not ethical as well. Because there's like delivery drivers. They don't have great lives. Whereas if you're driving yourself, you can pace it in your own way. Or if you're
Yes.
indeed on a train.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
because trains are always good. Like if you're like thinking about good and evil, cars are evil and trains are
Yeah,
good.
right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
In
and
the
so
big
at
battle
the
of,
end
yeah.
of the world, there'll be a battle between the cars and the trains.
Yeah, which I no, don't get me wrong, I'm on the side of trains and I do agree, but it's going to
Good,
be a
good.
really unfair battle because trains can only really go wherever the track is, and
Yeah, that
cars
is a
can sort of
problem.
zigzag and go. They can U-turn. They've really got the
Yeah, those trains are
advantage.
going to have to learn to fly. So they're learning slowly. So there's trains called maglev trains that can kind of fly,
Is there?
but they've just got a bit
Right,
further to learn to like properly because they haven't developed wings yet. Once they've got the
right,
wings, it is
right.
all over for cars. You know?
Well, and is that so? These maglev ones, is that have they just built the tracks up into the sky? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think
Right, right,
that's I
right.
think
Yeah,
that's the answer.
yeah,
It sort of,
yeah.
goes up and up until you reach the Kármán line, which is the edge of space.
Right, yeah. Because I mean that was where I always thought the problem was, right? Is if trains can only be on the tracks, why don't we just put tracks everywhere? Why don't we put them through the supermarket,
Yeah.
through the parks? Why don't we put them up in the sky into space? Then we'd just be able to catch the train everywhere.
Yeah, if you just had tracks instead of, everything else,
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah,
a much simpler
exactly.
life,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So yeah, I think tracks, why do you need parks? Like grass is just dirty, isn't it? Whereas a train track is nice and clean.
Yeah,
And,
and arguably if there was a train instead of a park, you could put grass on the train.
that's genius. You're giving me gold here. I think that's great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm,
Like
I'm seeing
a
your vision
park
now.
train. Yeah, yeah. I just
Yeah,
sort of
park
think like
train.
yeah, like I always think like have you ever been to one of those restaurants where there's only a few of them, but
I've
where
never
like
been to a restaurant. Can you explain
oh
what a restaurant is to me?
oh right oh I see that's tricky, and also I worry now that I think about it because at restaurants you have to sit down to eat, and I worry you wouldn't enjoy the meal because you'd be really focusing on the sitting.
You know what? Yeah, maybe my coach has sort of avoided me finding out about restaurants because I'll find it too distracting
Yeah.
from my kind of primary focus. You got really, really focused in sports.
Yeah, that's tricky. So you probably prefer. How do you eat? Do you eat standing up or sort of while running
I
around? Or
normally, those little, there's like a cardboard cutout with often a picture of like a lady and a man on them, and you put your heads through them.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay,
So
yeah.
I put my head through that, and then people throw me food,
That's
like kind of like a
nice.
seal.
Yes.
But I don't get to use my flippers. I just have to use my mouth.
Right.
And this is just a leisure thing. It's not part of my training.
Sure. Sure.
But I find it's a good way to get food into you.
Yes, it's good. Where do the people come from? Are they there ready, or are they? Is it just passers by, or
Basically, it's normally my enemies. So it's funny because like you'd think they're actually doing me a favor, but they don't realize that. They think it is a public humiliation ritual.
oh, like the
So they think
stocks or
it's
something?
really
Yeah, yeah.
embarrassing for me. So I'm like, oh no, don't throw food at me. Oh, that would be bad, especially not cream cakes. Don't do that. And then my enemies just line up. Like all the enemies I've ever made in my
Wow.
life, like the kid I pushed over at school,
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
my work rival in the sitting game. They'll
Yes,
just come
yes.
and they'll feed me. So it's actually free, which is great because my sport is quite expensive. So it's good to save money in other
You've
ways.
really got this sorted out. I'm very, very impressed because and also I'm pleased that you enjoy it because I suppose for me, whenever I've been to the zoo and I've seen when they're feeding the seals and they sort of do that thing where they throw the fish and then the seal has to catch the fish, and I always thought in the seal's head, are they thinking, can I just have it on a plate? Can I just have a knife and fork? Like why do I have to do this
I mean, I
every
don't.
time?
It's really hard to say because I'm not a seal, or at least I don't think I'm a seal.
I don't. Yeah.
Because am I? No, I don't
Well,
think so.
if you got flippers.
I mean, I do have flippers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Right. Right.
So, but I mean, not everyone with flippers is a seal, right? Like whales have
No, no, no,
flippers.
no. Can you balance a ball on your nose?
Yeah, I'm really
Yeah,
good at
yeah.
that actually. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I like fish.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Do you live in the sea or because
Yeah,
yeah,
I do
okay.
actually. I mean, part time. So
Sure, sure, sure.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sort of like semi-aquatic.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and I think, again, in the sitting competitions, I tend to do those on land because I think it's actually really hard to sit down when you're floating. You'd have to have
Yeah.
weights on your feet.
Yeah, not a lot. It's very hard to sit in the sea, isn't it? Unless you're sinking, and then that's a whole different world of trouble.
Yeah. I don't. Drowning is a different sport completely.
Yes, yeah, no, and you have to be. Yeah, you don't want to be good at that sport. That's not.
No, exactly. Yeah.
You can't compete. Too
So
often.
yeah. So I do live in the sea sometimes. So it's entirely possible that I am in fact a seal.
Right, which may also explain why you haven't been to a restaurant because I'm not. I haven't been to a restaurant that has a no seal policy, but it's very rare you see a seal in a
But
restaurant.
I think it's sort of implied, like there's this sort of anti-seal vibe to everything that you wouldn't say don't bring a seal in, but also you wouldn't bring a seal in.
But then you see, this is and Louis, this is one of the contradictions in life and in the world. There's all this idea that you wouldn't bring a seal into a restaurant, but then all these places want a seal of approval, as though that's
true.
a good thing. But if you bring them a seal, they get angry.
That's my seal impression. Is it good? Because I am a seal, so actually
That was
it has to be good.
It was it was. I mean, but what I like about it is it wasn't so good that I think you're someone doing a seal impression. It was about the right level of good that makes me think you're
exactly.
genuinely
Yeah.
You don't go for the
So
top,
so I think the seal of approval thing is something that, as a seal, I find problematic and offensive. I find that really, I find that upsetting because, it's like asking me to approve of everything, and sometimes I don't like things. I'm allowed to have tastes, as a seal.
Yes,
so why have I got to like everything?
No. I think that's fair. Could you be a seal of disapproval?
I could be a seal of disapproval. Okay, now I'm on board. I could go up to people that I disapprove of and just stamp them with my seal stamp.
Yes.
And say I disapprove.
I like that. I think there should be. Yeah, I think you should go on stamping a lot of stuff.
What should I stamp?
Well, we talked about cars. Just stamp all the cars.
Yeah.
You could do that
okay, I'm gonna stamp cars. I'm gonna stamp. What else am I gonna stamp? People called Terry.
Oh,
Just
wow.
all the people called Terry.
All of them?
Yeah, I'm going to stamp them. All of them. Yeah,
You don't like a single Terry?
No, they're all awful.
Wow.
It's just the name of it's. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about Terrys. I think it's because the baby comes out and then the parents look at it and see evil in the baby, and then they call it Terry.
Yeah, that's. I feel like there must be a Terry out there that's risen above the other Terrys.
I mean, no, I'm sure there is, because you know what? Just because you're innately evil, it doesn't mean you have to act evil.
That's
you
true.
can be
Yeah,
evil in your heart, but you can always hold back. And your life is in your hands like that. If you're a Terry and you're listening to this, I know that you can be better and you won't act on all the impulses, because I know Terrys have this little impulse go around in their head that every time they see a cake, they have to splat it in someone's face.
Oh,
that
really?
is that's the urge for every Terry. Yeah.
Terrys that are doing that. Right, okay.
Yeah.
But there must be, in the same way all cars are evil, but Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, pretty good. I feel like there must be a Terry out there, whether it's Terry Nutkins, Terry Hatcher, there's got to be a Terry that I think is doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think Terry Jones, who was a comedian, he did really well, because I think what he did was he took all his evil and turned it into laughter. You can use, how comedy is often comes from a place of tragedy and sadness.
Yes.
His came from a place of evil. So he went and made everyone laugh instead of ending the world, because he knew how to turn that into joy.
Yes, and like all the listeners, I'm sure will know of Terry Wogan, because definitely they're of the age that would know about Terry Wogan. He, instead of splatting cakes in faces,
I think your average listening age is 47, isn't it?
I'm sure it is. So I'm pretty sure that's about right. So they'd have known, instead of being evil, he just spoke very softly and interviewed people, and I thought that was quite nice. So
sorry, I was too blanket in my statement about all Terrys being evil. I think I would stamp them with disapproval, but I would potentially make it washable. So I wouldn't do permanent ink. I'd make it washable. So one day I could change it to the seal of approval if they.
That's nice. Okay,
if they prove that they've changed,
Well, Louis, you've got a system, and I approve it. If I had a seal of approval, I would stamp it on your system.
I mean, life is chaos, so you've got to have a system.
You have to have a system. Well, listen, Louis, I'm so pleased you're here with your system, system of approval. As I do have a question that I very much need your help to answer.
Oh, yeah. Anything.
Before I get there, I don't know if this would get your stamp or not. How do you feel about admin?
I think admin should have a seal of approval. disapproval, not approval, disapproval, so large that you can't see the admin. So like it hides the admin, which I normally do by, I've got, some papers that I'm supposed to look at. I just cover them up, normally with other papers.
Yes.
Like a picture I've drawn maybe of someone's face.
Right.
But if I could just, I could just use the seal of disapproval to cover it completely. So I never have to look at it.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that's okay. Well, I hope, I like the idea of someone's face covering up the admin. And then if it's someone's face you like, you think, oh, hello. And then you don't feel sad.
Lovely.
If it's someone's face you don't like, you avoid it. So it's
exactly,
good.
Yeah. So it works both ways.
Yeah, well, I think it's very smart, very smart. Well, I'm afraid that our legal team have always given me 2 admin questions I have to ask before we get to the question we need to do. But I would say that they're both, as admin questions go, I don't think they're the worst questions.
Okay.
If that's
I'll keep an open mind.
Thank you very much. There's definitely nothing to do with Terry's in there, so I hopefully that'll be okay. Yes.
Yeah, because I would have just got up and walked out of this studio,
Yes. I thought you would have done, which would have required you not sit, or you'd have had to then sit again. Well, I don't know how that would fit into your training routine.
I mean, I think, basically sometimes you do bad things even, because you're so angry. Anyway, so tell me about your 2 admin things.
Well, the first question is, I'm sure you're aware, Lou, but this podcast is for listeners of all ages, every age you can imagine. I would say bronze
not just
age,
47.
Ice age, middle ages. Yeah, not just 47, 147, 7, minus 7, 3007. They all tune in. So I just want to check if there are any rude words you won't be saying on this show.
Okay, so I promise on my honour as a seal that I will never say the word moist on this podcast, because I know a lot of people find it very upsetting, especially if you add the word towelette after it. If you say moist towelette, everyone feels like something's died inside them and they cringe so much that their body turns in on itself. So if I say the word moist, that's kind of cruel to your listeners. So I won't say the word moist at all.
Wow, because the word moist is really, I mean, I wouldn't say it on this show because instantly just saying it makes me kind of frown. It makes me feel like, why is it? What's happened? Why won't someone clean that up? Why would it dry out in the sun? Like and
just
then when
stays moist.
Towelette, towelette is worse, isn't it? Because like moist sock is pretty horrible. Moist shoe. Yeah. Moist, a gnome. What else would you?
A moist gnome. A moist cat.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, a moist cat is less disgusting and more just dangerous because it gets very angry if you put it in the bath. But
very angry.
But moist towelette. I think the thing that makes a moist towelette bad for me, apart from the sound, is that that it's been used to wipe up something even worse.
That's true, isn't it? That's a very good point.
So, like, someone's done a bit of sick and you wipe it up with a moist towelette,
That's really horrid. And I also think there's something particularly harsh about it because a towelette, as we all know, is a baby towel, much like a courgette is a baby courge. It's the rule, isn't it? You add at the end of it, and then it's suddenly Patricia Arquette is baby.
An oubliette is a baby oubli.
Yes, exactly. And so you are using a baby towel to wipe up sick. That is really awful.
It's cold. That is cold.
Yeah.
I won't say moist or moist towelette at all. I promise.
Thank you. Please don't say moist towelette on the show, and I most certainly wouldn't say it because I can't even imagine the complaints. They would be awful.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. Thank you.
Well, I'll leave you with any complaints, but I promise not to say it, so you won't have any. So
no. You won't say moist towelette. Neither will I. So thank you, Lou. Thank you for taking that as seriously as it needs to be. That's admin question number 1.
Okay, 1.
Number 1. And the second question, actually, you've got an interesting one this week because normally I get sent the questions by our incredibly important legal team. But this week, one of the listeners has sent in this question. This is from Cheetah on Spotify Q&A. Now, I'm not sure if they're an actual cheetah. It's not like the creature cheetah. I should say they're not just cheating at cards or something like that. So I assume they are an actual big cat,
like the real thing. Yeah, so they're typing with their paws.
I think so. Yeah, or their claws very gently. I don't know what that does to the keyboard.
You could maybe how some people type really slowly because they just use one finger. So maybe they're doing that with one big claw.
Yes, that's how I think it's and probably. I was going to say quite quickly, but that's a leopard, isn't it? So maybe just as their leisure. Yeah. You're from an upper tree or something. Well, they've asked, this is a great question, actually. I'm really glad that they wrote in. They've asked, would you rather be escalator or a drum kit?
Would I rather be an escalator or a drum kit?
No, so I have to correct you there. Be am escalator.
Oh, sorry, am escalator.
Yes,
that
so they've said very
completely changes my answer.
Yes, that's what I had to correct you. I'm sorry.
So what I'm choosing between is having people standing on me and people hitting me.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
So I would say the drum kit sounds more painful. So yeah, drums bad being hit, but like, you know what? People's shoes are not nice. Like, I do not want the underside of someone's shoes on my head. Yes. So I think I'm going to embrace the pain of the drum kit and go for that, because at least drumsticks are clean. You know, you're not going to catch anything from a drumstick, whereas who knows what kind of thing they've dragged in to stand on my lovely clean escalator.
What about this though? Because if the person playing the drum kit, if you don't like them, there's not much you can do about it. Whereas if the person's on the escalator and you don't like them, you can grab one of their shoelaces, and that's the end of them. That's it.
And then you can suck them into the nether realms.
Yes, that's right. True. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't know. You know what? I'm going to go with. I'm going to stick with my first answer, because I think it's important to just have the courage of your convictions. That's even if the evidence changes, just stick to it. Just stick to your answer anyway. Because evidence is lies.
Yeah, I mean, I respect the confidence, and why not? That you're sticking to your guns there. Would you have a favourite drum rhythm that you'd hope? Would you want a budum?
Oh yeah. Would you? I think I might go for a booch, 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 booch.
Oh yeah.
Booch.
That's good. That's like kind of drum and bassy, and it's yeah. That's good, and also the person playing it would have to have a lot of energy to keep that up.
Exactly. Yeah. So if they got tired, then I'm off the clock.
That's clever, isn't it? That's really clever. Make them play rhythms that are going to tire them out, and then you get a bit more time off. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's really interesting. Would you? Drum kits are quite big, aren't they? And I suppose also, so whoever playing them, if you're a full size drum kit, they get to sit down.
That is true. Yeah. So actually, I'm training the next generation of my sport.
Yeah, and musicians at the same time. Fascinating. Listen, Lou, I'm really pleased that you took that question as serious as it needed to be taken, and thank you, Cheetah, for sending that in. We've not had a listener.
Yeah, thank you.
A listener would you rather question before, but this was a first, and definitely a very interesting one.
It's a great opener.
It was really good, wasn't it? It was really good, and you've answered the admin now, Lou. So legally, we're allowed to continue on to onto the big question. And this has been sent from 42 Giant Crocs, whose real name is Hugo, aged 10, apparently. I don't know if Hugo's got, like, if the Crocs like the shoes, if he has 42 pairs of giant Crocs, or if he's got 42 giant crocodiles. I mean, maybe maybe they are the shoes, but they're not actually giant. He's just like microscopic. Yes, so he thinks they're giant Crocs, but he's actually like a fraction of a centimetre tall. Right, yeah.
So he can live in all those Crocs. It's like a whole city of Crocs.
That would be quite comfy and bouncy, I think.
So. Yeah, really bouncy pavements.
Yes.
If you fell over, you'd be fine. You'd just bounce back up again.
It'd be lovely. The downside would be there's a lot of holes in them, so when it rained, awful.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Well, maybe if he lives in Australia, he's all right.
Yes,
there, right?
Yes, although in Australia there'll be real Crocs, won't there?
There would be real Crocs.
Yeah, and then you'd have to avoid real Crocs while sitting in your Crocs.
Life is hard sometimes, it's just a minefield of danger.
It's very tricky, and we've also real name Hugo is age 10, but it hasn't said 10 what. It could be Crocs, it could be centuries.
It could be, but also it could be 10 years on a planet that has a very slow orbit.
Yes.
So if it actually takes 100 years to go around the sun once, or the local star, then that's a really long time. 100 years.
True. Yes, it's very true. It's very true.
It's maths.
So Hugo could be thousands of years old.
In
our terms, I should.
In our time, yeah. It's all relative.
Yes. But quite I suppose would explain why he's managed to gather so many Crocs together.
It would, yeah. So actually, I think we've solved that.
Yeah, well, I'm
so
glad.
What's his question?
His question is, and this is an interesting one. Why are giraffes' necks so long?
Okay, so I'm going to let you in on a secret here. As a representative of all seals everywhere, seals and giraffes have had a long-standing feud. It goes back centuries.
Right.
Because basically, once a giraffe borrowed a seal's ball and didn't give it back.
Right.
And that led to centuries of war. And now we're kind of in a sort of state of peace, but it is it's fragile, So I'm not sure I should talk any smack about giraffes because I might.
Right.
So, like, I shouldn't say giraffes have long necks because they're really up to something. They're suspicious. They're using those necks for dodgy business. I shouldn't say any of that because of the peace accords, the seal giraffe peace accords.
Right.
So I think I probably shouldn't answer that question because I could get myself into hot water. And in the past, giraffes have actually put seals into hot water as part of the war.
That's horrible. Wow.
Like not very hot, just like a kind of bath temperature. But seals,
Okay.
seals like cold water, so putting them in a bath temperature water is really mean.
Right. I see. So it's not relaxing. It's
not relaxing at all.
I thought
you're like, oh, I'm a little bit too warm,
Right, yeah, because for a second there I was thinking, oh, so giraffe's revenge was to give you a kind of spa treatment, but that's actually it's not nice.
No. You see, it's only a spa treatment if your body temperature is correct for that kind of water.
Can I ask what type of ball it was? Because in my head, I suppose I can only really see giraffes playing football. Maybe I can't really imagine them maybe doing that basketball trick where you roll the ball down your neck and onto your arm.
So you'll be surprised about this. It was actually a tennis ball.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. You weren't expecting that, were you?
I wasn't expecting that. Is pretty far from what I was thinking, yeah.
Giraffes really like tennis. No, not enough people talk about this, but but yeah, they're just obsessed. They just think I don't know, something about the hypnotic movement of the ball back and forth, and they're like pick, pock, and it sort of lulls them to sleep. So it's not that they watch it so much, it's just a really kind of soporific experience for them. So there was this one giraffe that was having trouble sleeping once. So he stole the ball off a seal, and the seal had a tennis ball because it was a professional tennis seal.
Sure. That makes sense.
It wasn't a seal of approval, it was a seal of tennis.
Yes, yeah.
So anyway, so they stole this ball off the seal, and the rest is history. I mean, a really sad history of, hot water.
I mean, that fascinated me. Can I ask, and maybe I don't want to ask an offensive question here, because for me, a seal playing tennis makes sense, right? It does make sense to me. A giraffe playing tennis, where does it hold the racket in its mouth?
Oh, they don't play; they watch.
Oh, they just watch. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't clear about that.
Sorry,
they're just spectators. They support all the big tennis teams. Arsenal.
Yep.
Arsenal FC, and the FC stands for funny club.
Yes, they're the really funny
they've got
club,
some jokes,
Yeah.
They're funny tennis players.
Yes.
And then there's Sheffield Wednesday Tennis Club.
Yes, they only play on a Wednesday.
And because they only play on Wednesdays in Sheffield.
Yes.
I mean, obviously it depends where the giraffe is from, because they probably they go for local teams quite often.
Yes, that makes sense. I do. That's funny because I remember seeing, is it Real Madrid, or is it fake Madrid?
Yeah.
It might be almost Real Madrid, partly real, partly pretend Madrid. And I remember seeing a giraffe in the audience of one of their tennis matches and being quite shocked. Actually.
Yeah. So I went to see, you're not sure if it was a dream last night or if it actually happened the day before Madrid.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And that was really full of giraffes. They're just everywhere. And
wow.
And they're all asleep because they use it to go to sleep, you see. So you've got this audience, and it's a bit dispiriting for the players, I won't lie, because you're playing the best game of your life and the audience is all asleep.
It's quite rude, actually. I think it's really quite rude.
Giraffes are rude. I mean, that's why they're our enemies.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, and I know you can't say anything by breaching.
Yeah, no, I can't say anything.
Agreement. Can I suggest things, and you could maybe make noises that would help us?
Okay, yeah. So if I agree with your statement, I'm going to go oh, because that's like a seal of approval.
Sure. Yeah.
And if I don't like it, I'll say.
Wow. Oh, that's quite. That was
because that's my impression of a lion, and seals are scared of lions.
Right. What about sea lions?
Sea lions are fine. They're fine.
Okay,
It's
okay,
actual
good.
lions.
Just checking.
Yeah,
Just check.
yeah.
I just got to check all the.
Yeah, no,
all
there
the-
are neighbours, there are friends, there are cousins,
Yeah. That's good. Different. You got to check all the different lines. Dandelions, also fine.
Oh, they're borderline.
Okay. What about Lyon in France?
Uh, it's okay as long as you get the fast train because
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't want to get the slow train to Lyon
Nice.
because
That
that
makes
takes
sense.
ages.
Takes
But
a
yeah,
really
you
long
want to
time.
get the TGV, which is like the fast train.
Nice. Okay, that's fair. And it's a train and not a car, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me check. So Hugo's question is, why are giraffes' necks so long? Can I ask, and you can respond how you need to, were giraffes' necks long before the incident with the seal and the tennis ball? Why they weren't. Okay, so could I suggest that giraffes have grown their necks long on purpose, specifically to do things like annoy seals from quite a distance by poking their heads in through windows and doing, I don't know, eating their stuff, spitting things. Right. Okay. Right. So they've combated evolution by growing their necks on purpose. This is fascinating.
Isn't it?
It is fascinating, and I have to say, I know I don't want to give credit to the giraffes because clearly I'm on Team Seal here, and
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for your support.
Well, always, absolutely supportive of the seals, and but I do have to say that I haven't really. Like, a lot of animals haven't really bothered evolving for a very long time, and I think it's quite impressive that giraffes have done it out of anger and spite.
Yeah, I mean, spite is an amazing motivator. It's what gets me up in the morning most of the time. Like,
Right, does it?
I got into the sitting game out of spite
Did
because
you?
once I got the tube because I live in London and I got the tube and someone stole my seat. And that's what motivated me to become really good at sitting. Because like, if you're incredibly fast at sitting, no one can steal your seat because you'll be there first.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and you'll always
Because
get
especially
musical
like
chairs
like
as
it's
well.
often like an old person that wants to steal your seat.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you've got to be fast.
Yeah.
Someone with a baby.
Yeah, and again, good at musical chairs too. You're never going to you're never
Yeah.
going to lose that game. So I can see.
Oh,
I can
yeah.
see. Well, Louis, thank you. I mean, I hope we've answered Hugo's question.
I hope so, yeah. Like scientifically, thoroughly.
What we haven't done is solved the decades-long giraffe seal conflict.
Maybe you need to do a separate episode for that.
Sure. Yes. And I'm not sure. I don't know if we need a creature that is. I mean, we've had cheetahs on the show. We've got 42 giant crocs. We might need one of them to step in.
Yeah, I think so. I think because I can't be objective. I can't just step back.
That was my worry. Well, listen, Louis, thank you so much. Thank you for answering Hugo's. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for answering Hugo's question. Thank you for all the wisdom and the anti-Terry conversation. I have to ask, what have you got coming up in the next 8 to 9 minutes and 42 seconds? Anything much?
What have I got coming up in the next 8 to 9 minutes and probably 40 seconds at this point? I thought I might have a bit of lunch, so I'm going to stick my head through one of those boards and just see what people throw at me.
That's great. That's good. Well, good luck with that. I do hope it's a lot of cream cakes. I hope that comes your way.
I hope so, yeah.
Well, that's a really good way to spend the next few minutes, and I might have to do the same. And of course, I do have to also mention that despite having flippers and despite all the time you spend doing competitive sitting, you have also written a number of amazing books.
Yeah. Thank you.
And in particular, all the Loki series, which are absolutely hilarious, and all of our listeners would thoroughly enjoy, whether they are seal or giraffe. I should just say, I think it's suitable for all audiences. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's about the Norse god Loki. He's been sent down to Earth in the form of a human as a punishment because he was naughty. And actually, in Norse mythology, Loki did turn into a seal once, and he had a fight with his with another one of the gods, also in the form of a seal, because Norse myths are really sensible.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, and also that's like two.
They're very serious books, very serious.
Yeah. But Loki's Bad Gods Guides, how serious are they?
I mean, it depends. I, as a seal, like to express seriousness by laughing.
Yes,
so
sure.
I think they're very serious because
course,
every time I read them, I laugh. So they must be serious.
Yes, I think a lot of our listeners would probably express laughter reading through them, and should definitely check them out.
I think so.
And
yeah. Even whatever species they are,
of whatever species, exactly. So the latest one, there are 5 Loki books, and the latest one is The Bad God's Guide to Causing Chaos. But should everyone start A Bad God's Guide to Being Good if they haven't read?
Yeah, I think so. If you haven't read them before, start with A Bad God's Guide to Being Good. I also call it the orange one because
I like that.
I find colours are easy to remember than words.
And I've also realised, having said them, because I have seen your books many times, they're very, very funny. I've never said them out loud, and Bad God's Guide to Being Good is an incredibly hard thing to say.
It's really hard. We did not think that through. We didn't think I would be going on podcasts to talk about it. We just, in writing, it looks perfectly easy, but then it's A Bad God's Guide to Being Good.
A Bad God's Guide to Being Good. But it's, try saying that 15 times fast, listeners. And then you can qualify to go and get yourselves a copy. Maybe we shouldn't. That feels like an unfair challenge.
No, I feel like we need to lower that bar.
And lower that bar, yeah.
You don't have to be able to say it. All you have to do is go into a bookshop and mime. Maybe mime that you like Loki, so you could mime by pulling a prank, because he pulls lots of pranks.
That's good. That's very good.
Take a whoopee cushion into the bookshop and say, I want a book like this.
Yes, that's very good. That's very good. Excellent. Well, I mean, this is exactly the sort of, I expect from an expert like yourself, who've had so much good advice.
Thank you.
I can only assume that your books about Loki's expertise are even better. So
even better, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you tons, Louie. Thank you tons for coming on the show, and hopefully we'll get to speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks so much to the brilliant Louie Stowell for taking time away from all that very fast sitting in order to answer Hugo's questions about giraffes. Hugo, I hope you liked your answer, but if not, why not put any complaints you have at the top of a giraffe's neck, and then it'll always be too high up for me to see it, and I'll never have to read it. Thanks. Louie's Loki books are so excellently funny. Honestly, they are brilliant, and they've all been recently re-released as all new extended editions with smashing new covers too. The first one is called Loki, the Bad God's Guide to Being Good, and there are 5 in the series, so make sure you read them all the way up to the latest one called The Bad God's Guide to Causing Chaos. They are available in all the book places, and I'll pop a link in the podcast blurb too. If you have a question you need to have answered, then please get your nearest dumpy noodlehead, grown-up, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclubforkids.co.uk. And please also check out comedyclubforkids.co.uk too. And listeners, I've still had no 250-second congratulation messages. I really thought everyone would be wanting to wish as well. It's quite an achievement. 252 episodes. Way better than 250 episodes. I'm just saying. Oh, wait. Could this be? Oh, a letter. It says, congratulations on the 252nd episode from the Comedy Club for Squids. We hope you enjoy your 252 gifts. What? 252 gifts? I wonder what that could be. 252 lumps of seaweed? It's really soggy. It's not very good. Oh, another letter. Well done on 252 episodes. Love from the Comedy Club for Myths. Your gift should be arriving soon. Oh no, not a gift from them. I don't trust anything. Not 252 Bonnikins, the mythical cow that farts fire. Oh well, I guess that's at least dried out the seaweed a bit. I do quite like crispy seaweed. How many more letters is that? Exciting, and how many gifts? I'm not sure I'm that excited. This is from Comedy Club for Lids, Comedy Club for Grids, Comedy Club for Lithodids, Comedy Club for Opening Bids, Comedy Club for Angle Wing Katydids. There's so many, which means, oh no, I wish nobody wanted to celebrate our 252nd episode. I need to get to the 253rd episode super fast. See you next week. Bye.
You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids Presents. Radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense. It's the end.